Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mob Show. Today's topic of talk is about a couple of changes to the Rams organization that got them to the Super Bowl. The Rams were located in St. Louis from 1995 through the 2015 season before relocating back to Los Angeles. The Rams had many great seasons in its early days in St. Louis, but that didn't last long. From the years 2005 to 2015, the Rams did not make the playoffs once. The Rams in 2009 had the worst record in the league, going 1-15. This gave them the first overall pick in the 2010 NFL Draft. This pick, as we all know it today, was Sam Bradford. The following year, Sam Bradford led the Rams to a 7-9 record and won Offensive Rookie of the Year. Although the following season was not so bright, the Rams finished the 2011 season going 2-14. This led to the hiring of Jeff Fisher. Jeff Fisher with the Rams finished with a record of 31-45 and never led them to the playoffs. Edward Jones Dome was below standards and there needed to be a renovation to the stadium. There was a lease agreement that stated that Edward Jones Dome had to be in the top 25% of all NFL venues. There was no interest from the city of St. Louis to provide future funding to the stadium. On January 31st, 2014, Rams owner Stan Kroenke purchased 60 acres of land in Inglewood, California. On January 5th, 2015, the Los Angeles Times reported that Stan and Stockbridge Capital Group were partnering up to develop a new NFL stadium on the Inglewood property. Soon after, the City Council approved the stadium plan. And finally, on January 4th, 2016, the St. Louis Rams filed a relocation to Los Angeles for the 2016 NFL season. Now on to Nate, where he will explain how the Rams rose to stardom.
Alright, so I will be discussing the transition from the Jeff Fisher era to the Sean McVay era and the effects it had on the two-star players of the Rams. So first off, I would like to discuss, Jared Goff. So his rookie year, 2016, the man didn't take over until roughly 7 games left in the season. He played in all 7 games and went 0-7. Great start. Jared Goff went 112 for 205, roughly a 54.6% completion rate for about 1,100 yards, 5 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Not the greatest stat line of a rookie quarterback ever. Many people call him a bust straight after that. So then you see the transition to Sean McVay, and you see his improvement last year, and everybody's starting to realize that maybe he was worth the number 1 overall pick, in which he went 296 for 477, with roughly a 62% completion rate, 3,800 yards, 28 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. That's a 4-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, which is, about as good as you can get in the NFL. And then you see the emergence this year, which is off the charts. It's really kind of the testament of what McVay has given. You have 364 completions for 561 attempts, about 65% completion. And you see Jared Goff threw for about 4,700 yards this year, 32 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. Piggybacking off that Goff comparison, you have Todd Gurley. So he was drafted in 2015 by the St. Louis Rams. So this was their last year in St. Louis. In his first year, Todd Gurley started 13 games, 229 attempts for 1,100 yards and about 10 touchdowns, 21 catches for 188, 0 touchdowns. Then they head to LA, and you see kind of a fall off. People were really writing Todd Gurley off because he had 16 games, so 3 more games than the year prior, 278 attempts, but only 885 yards and 6 touchdowns. There's no way a man's numbers should drop like that. He wasn't injured, played the whole year. So then you introduce Sean McVay into the system. You see Gurley's numbers just skyrocket. 15 games, 279 attempts, only 1 more attempt than the year before, 1,300 yards and 13 touchdowns. And you also see kind of the most crucial part of Sean McVay's offense, the dink and dunks to the running back. Todd Gurley's a home run hitter. 64 catches for 788 yards and 6 touchdowns. With these two stat lines and the improvement between the Jeff Fisher era to the Sean McVay era, you really see how the kind of guys Sean McVay brings in and what he makes of the dudes he already has And people were ready to write off Jared Goff and write off Todd Gurley and just kind of tank it all and draft another one. Sean McVay really worked with those people, and it's why LA is where they are now, about to play for the Super Bowl and potentially beat Tom Brady.